Do you like to be alone? If the answer is yes, you're probably an introvert, gifted with some very powerful qualities. You see, people always think extroverts are superior to introverts. They call introverts antisocial dorks, but in reality, most high performers in the world are introverts. That's right, 98% of billionaires are introverts. Do not misunderstand it. Being an introvert doesn't guarantee success. In fact, the majority of introverts are actually bums. They hide their shyness and social anxiety behind the term introvert, and instead of fixing their issues, they use their introversion as an excuse. Pathetic. Every man can improve his social skills, and being an introvert isn't an excuse for anything. But an introvert can actually be a superpower if you know how to use it. We will go over 6 amazing qualities of people who like to be alone, and there's a bonus lesson at the end, so make sure you watch the full video. Number 1. Energy and focus. They say that extroverts have more energy than introverts, but this isn't completely true. You see, extroverted people get energized through socialization and collaboration. That is their gift, but they are uncomfortable being alone for too long. That is their curse. If you're introverted, you are the opposite. Too much social interaction may drain your energy, but at the same time, you receive energy when you are by yourself or with much smaller groups. This is why introverted people are often the people that surprise others with results out of nowhere. It's easier for them to focus and work in solitude without the burden of loneliness. Do not misunderstand it. No one is 100% introvert or 100% extrovert. We are all a mix of both, but it's up to you to figure out which is your dominant side, so you can use your gifts to your advantage. Number 2. Creative minds. Extroverts are often influenced by what is mainstream and popular, but introverts tend to have their own preferences that are less influenced by whatever is trending today. Because they spend more of their time on their own, they develop perspectives, ideas, and insights that are unorthodox. Albert Einstein, the introverted physicist, once said, "The monotony of solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." And it's true. Introverts are more creative by nature than extroverts. Now, when it comes to making money, extroverts tend to have the advantage in sales, but introverts have the advantage in marketing. And if the two work together, they can move mountains. Introvert-extrovert is the most powerful business partnership I've ever seen. They work incredibly well together. Number 3. Calm and calculated. The people that like to be alone are often reserved and do not open easily. This may seem like a curse, but it's actually a gift. It makes them more calm and calculated than people who crave attention. You see, people that crave attention and social interaction often feel uncomfortable when there's a silence. They find it awkward and want to break that silence. This could result in them blurting out something they later regret saying, because they are just throwing thoughts everywhere. For introverts, this is not the case. They think before they speak. They're comfortable in silence and don't feel the need to force a conversation. Obviously, it's best to strike a balance. The extrovert should learn when to shut up, and the introvert should learn to be more witty and engage in small talk, because there are times where it can come in handy. Number 4. Sharp observation. People that like to be alone are often very observant. They have the eye of a hawk. While others are talking and processing out loud, introverts are actually soaking in the information that's being presented and thinking critically. It may look like they're just sitting there quietly, but they have a very sharp eye to read the room. They're more likely to notice people's body language and facial expressions. Number 5. They make quality friends. Introverts often don't have many friends. Sometimes they don't have any friends at all, but when they do have friends, they pick them carefully. You see, because introverts can't feel their energy being drained by being around others. They must choose their companions wisely. They would rather have a few close, trusted friendships to invest their time and energy in, as opposed to a large network of acquaintances. Number 6. Great leaders. People think all great leaders are extroverts, but this simply isn't true. Believe it or not, people who are more introverted have the potential to become great leaders. Why? They don't feel the need to step into the spotlight and take all of the credit for group successes. Rather, they're likely to highlight the strengths of their teams. And since introverts process information more slowly and thoughtfully than their extroverted counterparts, introverted leaders tend to learn more about their subordinates. That being said, the best leaders have both extroverted and introverted qualities, and more importantly, the self-awareness to know when to adopt each style. Now, we just went over the 6 qualities introverts have, and though I could name more or go over all the advantages extroverts have, we're not going to do that. Instead, I will end this video with a bonus lesson. Number 7. The truth about introverts and extroverts. If you've made it this far, listen up, because this is valuable. Whenever there are two polar opposite terms and there's a clear bias against one of the two, you should always question why that is. A good example of this is the term toxic masculinity. You never hear toxic femininity, but always hear toxic masculinity. There's a clear bias going on. Why? Because the term is made up by feminists, and it's garbage. In a way, the same could be said for introversion and extroversion. There is a clear bias against introverts. They're considered lesser than extroverts, almost like being an introvert is a bad thing. Now, why do you think there is this bias against introverts? Is it because introverts are incompetent, socially awkward, or shy? No, it's because people don't know the real definition of an introvert. They think it means social anxiety or shyness, which couldn't be further from the truth. You have to understand the true definition of introverts and extroverts. I'm talking about the original definition that was introduced by Carl Jung. Understand that neither the introvert or extrovert is superior to the other. They both have their strong points. Once you understand that, you should figure out which is your dominant side, since we are all a mix of both. Once you've figured out whether you're more introvert or extrovert, look at what your advantages are and lean into them. Now, I already know people are going to leave comments saying you should label yourself as an introvert or extrovert. I understand where they're coming from. If you put a label on yourself that's weakening or helps you cope, that label is a curse. However, this is only true if the label weakens you. When you put a label on yourself that empowers you, that label becomes a gift. For example, if you call yourself a warrior, that label forces you to improve. It holds you to a high standard. The same goes with the labels introvert and extrovert. If you used introvert to cope with social anxiety, shyness, and other things, the label is a curse. But if you see introvert for what it really is, the true definition and all its advantages, that label can't become a gift. So tell me, are you more of an introvert or extrovert? By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time.